Hello!
Hello!
How is everyone today?
Not like we can hear you, but we still care.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes, we're back for episode number 4 of the Mistresses of Murder. That's Chloe.
That's Sam.
Yeah, we're back.
Alright.
Longer than we did roller derby.
Longer than we did roller derby, friends, so I'm glad that y'all are here to listen to us right now.
Yes. So, how was your day? Let's start off with that.
Okay.
Tell me about your day, Chloe.
I don't think you want to know about my day. My
You
day
know,
was not-
maybe
not.
I forgot.
Maybe not. Get yelled at by my boss.
Huh? Why? Why'd they yell at you? You did nothing wrong, right?
No, actually, well, I thought I was doing the right thing, but apparently I was not following chain of command. So I couldn't find my boss, so I went to my second boss.
How many bosses do you have?
Technically one by this statement.
Okay.
But I had a funeral to go to this afternoon, so I went to my second boss because I couldn't find my first boss. And I asked if I could take off the rest of the afternoon because I had a funeral. And so that boss approved. And then my boss came around to all of the departments to tell them that she is boss and she can only approve time off.
Oh my god. For a funeral and you can't find her, you'd think that it would be okay. Like,
yeah.
Extenuating circumstances, but whatever.
No, you go find your boss. I don't care if you call her, telegraph, something to get freaking night sky light, like
have the airplane write it out and everything.
Yeah.
At the billboard. Whatever. Seems like, I don't know, people like that, it's just like they obviously have like a weird complex or like, I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
I have to be in control of everything.
I'm the one.
I can think of people like that from that restaurant we used to work at.
And then I went to a funeral that lasted way too long. But I mean, I get it. It just, I was like expecting it to be like an hour tops. They preached a whole sermon.
Oh, good lord. I have never been to a funeral, so I don't really know what they're like.
That's my third one.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope to never go to one, but
technically I guess that's my fourth, but I'm gonna say third. But yeah, no, that was, and then took Rattles to the vet. My other dog,
Rattles Cash,
and ended up here somehow.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Apple rosé.
My God, it really does. It smells like a Moscato to me. You know?
Yeah.
This is a white. It's a rosé, but
this was picked off of a tree.
It smells like a Moscato. It smells really sweet, but then you taste it, and like Chloe said earlier, what'd you say? It tastes like?
No, it has the appearance of a Moscato, but the taste of a cheap whore.
Yes. It was a $5 bottle of wine. We got it a couple weeks ago, the night that we filmed our first episode.
Holy crap, was that long ago?
Yeah. I mean, 4 weeks, so it's been about a month.
Holy crap,
I know. But yes, I was like, we're celebrating a little bit because I passed my test yesterday.
Yes.
So I was like, we're going to drink some wine and make some cookies, but this wine is kind of terrible.
It's looking more like a sip every once in a while when your throat's dry.
And then it just dries out your throat even more because it's
terrible.
But I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like Sprite would go good in that though. I don't know why, but I always feel like any wine that doesn't taste good, I'm like, just put like a shot of Sprite in it and it'll be all good.
Everything's fine after a shot of Sprite.
That's what I used to drink whenever I first started drinking alcohol, was like the really cheap Arbor Mist like wine. I don't know it's wine, but whatever it is, alcohol beverages. And I would do like half of that and then half of Sprite.
Wine.
I feel like it's like technically like a wine cooler, maybe? I don't know.
What the hell is the difference, honestly?
I don't know. I'm assuming like maybe lower alcohol content. I don't know.
I disagree. I think you can get messed up on any type of thing that has alcohol.
That's true.
Especially
if you drink enough of it.
And we've been doing this for a month.
Yes. So
how was your children today?
One of them was pretty good. I don't know. I had this morning my client. I had like a therapist who was training, and so she kind of like ran everything, and I just kind of like sat back and like intervened when I needed to. But he was like not super happy about working with someone new. It was giving her a little bit of a hard time. I didn't have to do it directly, so it was nice.
Yeah.
And then my second client, She was terrible. You know?
Just the worst.
Just the absolute. She's, I don't know, like, kids start at school, the routines are off, and then she's like, she only went a half day, and now she's like adding on an extra hour. So I think that's kind of messed her up a little bit. She's just like literally screaming nonstop and biting stuff, and I was like, child. Like,
wait, was
please
she
calm
biting
down.
people or was she just biting things?
Biting things, which it's like one of those things where like she like would bite it kind of like as a sensory thing, and then I'd be like, nope, and remove it, and then she like got this like crazy look in her eyes and then started biting everything in the room, and I was just like, oh my god, so now you're doing it for attention.
I feel like that's some deep-seated issues going on there.
No, it's just
Hit me with all this knowledge that you have.
well, there
I'm ready.
are 4 functions of behavior.
What does Dear IPP stand for?
It's not Dear IPP, it's Dear PP. It stands for determinism, empiricism, experimentation, replication, parsimony, and philosophical doubt. I will take that to my grave.
We'll put that on your gravestone.
Dear PP.
Dear PP.
Oh my god.
It will leave people with so many questions. I like it.
I still have all the knowledge in my head, and hopefully I can retain most of it for the next month or 2. And then when I test again, I won't have to study too much, hopefully. But we'll see.
Wait, why do you have to test again, though?
Okay. So this first test is just kind of like a stepping stone, so I can be like an assistant.
Yeah.
And then the next one, I'll be like the main bitch, basically.
You'll be, what is it called?
So
HBIC, head bitch in charge.
Yep. Well, one of the head bitches in charge. So, I gotta wait
I
till
like
that.
how you're only like 4'11" and you're gonna be the head bitch in charge.
One of the head bitches in charge. There's a lot of head bitches in charge. Honestly, they need to open up more clinics so for room for all of us, because so there was, how many people? There's me, and then there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4 others who are like in the same program I was. That's 4 other head bitches in charge coming, and we already have like 6, so
Damn.
they might have to start actually, I don't know, they might have to start turning people down.
Shut up.
So, we'll see.
Not enough child therapy in the world. I said foul therapy.
Filed, you know.
Foul therapy.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of kids need the therapy, but the problem is like the position I have currently, that's the one that we need more people in, not the one that I'm going towards.
Ooh, okay.
So, but that's boring stuff, so we don't talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sam already knows you guys. Sorry, you're late to the party. But, I was at a friend's house and I found a kitten, and me and my generous soul that I am and my loving heart, I was talking to my boyfriend and I was like, dude, we've got to take this kitten home. I have to nurse it back to health. And so I got it and I took it to the vet because obviously it needed attention. And I have a hermaphrodite. If you don't know what that means, Google it because you should know.
Yeah. Easy
But-
access to the internet to do it.
Yeah. But yes, so I picked its name, but I really kind of want to change it. Okay, scratch it. I didn't pick its name. Dylan picked its name.
Lyle's a cute name.
Lyle is because of Therapy Gecko. That's why.
Is that his name? Therapy
Yes.
Gecko? Oh my god.
His-
Okay.
Well, his name is Therapy Gecko.
Why don't you name him Gecko?
Well, I call him Geck.
Tom Gecko.
But, anyways, he's in my lap right now. He's
super cute. He's
Mavis
so
couldn't make it to the party because she's being a little bitch because she's trying to take Lyle out.
Aww. Mavis.
So Mavis had to stay home and Lyle got to come to the party.
He's been upgraded to mascot for the day.
Yeah.
He's literally like just so comfortable just sitting in her lap. It's
Yeah,
really cute.
it's because he's so cold because he's so tiny still. And I have to give him his bottle here in a bit.
Oh,
I know.
that's really cute.
Yeah.
That's sweet baby.
I don't have really anything else exciting going on in my life.
I don't know. I really don't either. I'm going out of town next week, so that's fun.
She is indeed.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Where are you going again?
We're going to Maine.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. I saw you bought the tickets.
That's right. And I was like, whew. Having like a panic attack because it was freaking expensive. And I was like, I thought plane tickets were supposed to be cheap because of COVID, but apparently not.
They kicked back up after Delta variant,
Yeah. So
the vaccine.
yes, I'm gonna go to Maine for like 10-ish days, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Me eating another breaded chicken.
Okay. That was such ASMR.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And I'm eating my dinner, so if you guys hear me talking with a full mouth or my dish like clinking or something, I'm sorry, but I'm hungry, so.
Yeah, I ate mine while Sam was cooking hers because, you know, well, I don't want to eat her trash food.
It's just chicken and rice. It's simple.
Yeah, you're right. I kind of want to bite, but I'll
Go
wait.
for it. Here, no, take a bite. Tell me how I did with the seasoning.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Instead, we're just going to be eating food on this podcast. Oh, no. That's actually really good.
Thank you.
I'm kind of mad now.
Yeah, see? I could have taken out, no, by the time you told me. I mean, I knew you were coming over, but I don't know. I could have taken an extra thing of chicken out, maybe.
Yeah, you could have.
My bad. So, yeah. Do you have any housekeeping or whatever we're calling it? Correction corner?
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to call it. We're still working on that.
We're trying not to, infringe on any copyright stuff.
I don't know. Can you actually infringe on a podcast?
If they copyrighted the term, yeah. I don't think Karen and Georgia did, but...
Karen and Georgia, if you ever hear this, just know that we're totally copying you.
You're our inspos.
So, this was pointed out to me by Carol. Thanks, Carol. But, I said in Hometown Homicides that Florida and Texas border Louisiana. Hi, I don't know why I said that, but Florida...
Texas does.
Well, Texas does. Technically, Texas does.
Yeah.
But, Florida is, like, 2 states away. Well, 3. 2?
Mississippi.
Alabama.
Georgia. And then Florida.
So, would you say 3?
We'll say 3.
Okay. So, like, 3 states away. So, that's my, my goof. Sorry about that, friends. I definitely didn't come here for a geography lesson.
And also, I did not catch it, but like I said, I'm going to cut some slack on that one. It was our second podcast, and, it can be we're just kind of talking, and sometimes our trains of thought,
I just want you to
all
know
kinds of
that
directions.
chicken was spicy as hell.
Drink some of your wine.
I'll have a little tongue dip.
just a little laugh.
A little laugh.
Like Lyle would do.
Lyle's currently playing with my fingers.
He is so cute. I have a small correction.
What?
I know, my first one. My mom listened to our last episode, and when we were trying to pronounce the name of a town in Florida, and we were like, Julie, what is it? She, literally called me while she was listening to it, and she was like, it's Boynton.
Boynton?
Boynton. Unless I'm mispronouncing it, but I think she said it's Boynton. So, that's my correction. I was like...
Technically, wasn't that my...
That was, but how are we to know how to pronounce it?
To be fair.
I mean, we could have looked at the pronunciation, but... She
She
literally just called me and she was like, Boynton, and I was like, okay. And then we hung up, and that was the entire conversation.
I know. Even if we would have looked it up, I am not your girl to try to pronounce things. Literally had a disability on how to, phonics.
Oh my god.
No, seriously, I had
Did you go to speech therapy?
Well, this is when we lived in Colorado, and so I went every day with this woman during class, me and a couple other kids, and we read Curious George aloud.
It had to be speech therapy if it was for your speech. I'm assuming. I don't know. Maybe it was unofficial speech therapy stuff.
I don't know. It was just me and 5 other kids, if my memory states correctly, and and my mom even told me that I was terrible at phonics. So thanks, Mom.
I went to speech therapy one time. I think I told you this story before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went to speech therapy one time. From my memory, I mean, it could have been more. I'm sure my mom will let me know. But I remember going one time during school.
Julie, correct us if we're wrong.
Just call our correction corner Julie's Corrections.
Julie's Corrections.
But now,
Julie's Junctions.
I went to speech therapy one time during school. They pulled me out of class. I think it probably was just maybe an eval or something because I literally never went back. And they, apparently, I had, a slight speech impediment because, I hung around my aunt a lot, and she is deaf, and so, deaf people, they talk a certain way.
Yeah.
I don't know the right way to say that, but, they have a little bit of a speech impediment themselves.
Don't get mad at us.
They can't hear themselves talk, so. And so I kind of, talked like her a little bit with some words, so they were my mom was like, oh no, we gotta get her, evaluated. But I think they realized that I was just Literally, I could pronounce the stuff once they were like, hey, say this.
And tune in for next week's video. Wait, not video, podcast.
If it's on YouTube, it's kind of a video. We'll see what weird picture I can edit this week. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. So if you did listen to our podcast on Spotify and you just went to our YouTube, just want everybody to know that Sam is the one who edited the picture.
I know it's not the best, but I thought it was hilarious.
Dude,
every time I looked at it, I would just kind of chuckle to myself.
Dude, she was so proud of it, and because of that, I was so proud of her.
That's great.
She put her heart and soul into that, and I already have an idea for mine. I don't know what your murder's about, but I literally already have an idea for mine.
I have a slight idea. We'll have to do some kind of mashup. That's what all of our pictures need to be from now on. A mashup of both our murders.
I agree.
Because it was Santa, and the eyes, and the super glue.
Yeah, we gotta come up with our names, but we'll have to do that after we talk about murder.
Yeah, this week's theme.
Oh, one-hit wonders.
One-hit wonders. So,
yes.
meaning
one-off
killings, I guess.
Well, mine was it was so fucked up that that's all they really needed. They made a name for themselves with how fucked up
just by doing
was.
one thing.
That's how I figured. That's how I pictured it.
I just figured it was I don't know, we didn't really say, we just know one-hit wonder, so I was person who just went crazy one time and killed someone. Or maybe multiple people, I don't know. So.
I feel like yours was multiple people just because you had to slide that in.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
You'll find out. So, who should go first? Are we ready? Do we have any other stuff we want to talk about? We talked for 17 minutes, so.
Wow.
Time flies when you're podcasting.
Time flies when you're podcasting. I don't really know.
What would you rate yours on a scale of 1 to 10? 1, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with the scale.
I was trying to figure out.
Not necessarily
Mine's a 7 on the fucked up scale.
That's what our scale should be. On the fucked up scale. I think mine.
So 1. So 1 is just oh, they shot him with a gun.
Yeah.
5 is no. 3 is mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
5 is oh, they slit somebody's throat.
Okay.
7 is oh, they did some pretty fucked up shit.
Okay.
And then you have 10 is
they cut off their nipples and super glued their eyes shut.
Yeah, and use electrical currents through their feet.
10 is a lot of torture and that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, no, okay, I guess maybe I'll say mine's an 8.
An 8? Okay.
Because
I'd say mine's maybe a 6 or a 7.
Because mine's
maybe
kind
a 6.
Of fucked up.
Mine has one really fucked up thing that happens that I thought was kind of cool.
Well, just the murder itself is very fucked up in mine.
So.
Well, I mean, she's the. Oops. But, I mean, we know. But the woman that I chose as my one-hit wonder.
I thought you were going to say the woman I chose as my idol, and I was like,
the woman that I chose as my idol.
I look up to her.
Oh, Miss Ma'am. But the one that I chose, she had a pretty fucked up life, so. What are rock, paper, scissors?
Sure, let's do it.
Alright, ready?
Best 2 out of 3 or just 1?
Let's do 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Okay, ready?
Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You motherfucker.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Okay, Sam won that one.
I won. Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, we're tied.
I won that one.
Okay, ready? Paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Sam won.
So what does that mean? Do I go first, or do you go first?
I would assume you just won.
Okay,
unless you want
first.
me to go.
No, I just wasn't sure what you were playing for. Anyway, so
we were just playing.
I thought we were just taking a break.
Hey, we're back.
Oh God. Okay. So let's talk about murder.
Let's get it.
Okay.
Friends, let's dive in.
Okay. My murder, titled Murder Number 4 on Word document. So that's why I title all my murders, just in order. 1,
I have
2,
somebody
3,
goes
4.
through your email whenever you die.
And they're
just
God damn.
what did she do?
Or just goes through my desktop and they see Murder 1, Murder 2, Murder 3, a picture, Photoshop picture of Santa Claus.
with his eyes wide open. With eyes wide open.
Anyway, let's talk about my murder.
That's what we should have named it. I'm so sorry. Sidebar. But we totally should have named it, like, with eyes wide open.
That would have been good. I like the name that you came up with, though.
Oh.
You never trust a man in a suit, especially a Santa suit.
True. Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Sorry.
But that's okay.
Okay.
That was, yeah.
Anyways, that was last week. So tune in for this week's that's happening right now.
Right now.
Continue.
All right. So my murder, there's no fancy name for this murder. I was kind of hoping there'd be like, like when murders have like a catchy name, because last week it was like the Covina Massacre. This one doesn't have a fancy name or anything, but we have a couple of people I need to mention who are involved in this case. We have 20-year-old Jason Bautista. If I mispronounced that, I'm so sorry.
Bautista?
It's like Bautista. You know, Bautista?
B-A-U.
That's what I'm going to say.
I thought it was Bautista. Bautista.
Like Bautista. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyways, Jason. Okay, Jason Bautista. Correct me if you want to. So we got him. We've got his 15-year-old half-brother, Matthew Montejo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then Jane Bautista, 41-year-old, mother of both. Okay? These are our parties in play. Don't really know a whole lot about any of them other than Jason was a graduate of Paloma Valley High School, and he was a biochemistry student at Cal State San Bernardino. Bernardino. I'm mispronouncing everything this episode. And that's okay. Matthew was only 15 years old, so I'm assuming he's still in high school. Or was it? Jane is their mother, and Jane seemed to be suffering from some type of mental illness and like increasing paranoia with her older age.
Interesting.
Yes. Jason testified. Spoiler alert, Jason testified.
Jason testified.
So that means he's involved in something. That his mother became abusive as her paranoia and mental illness got worse. Okay?
I wonder if she was suffering like a form of I'm sorry. But, like, I wonder if she was suffering from, like, a form of PTSD and actually got older.
I don't know. Like, I read about, like, 4 or 5 different articles, and I really could not find a whole lot of background info on, like, her or about any of them, really. I feel like I don't really get a lot of background info on my people, but I get some. Anyway, so apparently Jane would complain that her house was bugged and that people were stalking her.
Oh, Lord.
And also that the entertainment industry had mounted a conspiracy against her. The entertainment industry.
Man, fucking lizard people.
Maybe. Or maybe the Illuminati. Or Scientology, because they have all kinds of people in the entertainment
They
industry.
have power everywhere.
We should totally do an episode on Scientology one day. You know there's some deaths.
No,
mysterious deaths.
Wait, you haven't heard about that?
What? Oh, the ship thing?
No, I'm talking about the man who, like, created it. His wife just disappeared. And no one says anything. Like, no one's...
I believe it. I watched that, like, that docuseries from Leah Remini or whatever. It's really interesting. It's all about
Rams?
Leah Remini. Is that her name? She was on.
It's Leanne Rams.
No, the girl from King of Queens.
Baby girl, that's Leanne Rams.
It is not. That is Leah Remini.
Okay, well, Leanne Rams does one too.
Hold on.
Fact check.
We're fact checking. Take a break. It is. They might be 2 different people.
Is Leanne Rams and Leanne Remini?
Well, I'm just gonna look up Leah Remini.
Leah? What are these names?
Dude, yeah. Leah Remini.
Let me look at that.
This is who you're talking about?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Leanne Rams.
I don't know who that is. Who is Leah?
She's a country singer.
She sounds like it.
She rhymes.
Is that how you spell it? Like, rhymes? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Leanne Rhymes. That's not how you spell it. So she's in Scientology, too? Or she was?
I think so. I don't know. Now you've got me questioning.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Well, Leah Remini was in Scientology, and she has a great docuseries about it, and it's really cool. And anyway, we should definitely do an episode on Scientology, because there's some, like, mysterious, like, deaths and shit like that go on there.
I agree.
So, but back to my murder. Sorry to get sidetracked. Scientology is just super interesting. Anyway.
I literally said the other day that I want to learn more about it.
It's so cool.
Continue.
Okay, anyway. And by cool, I mean terrible.
No, we support it. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I gotta... Never mind, I'll tell you that after the podcast. Alright. Hello! Okay, so Jane would complain that her house was bugged, that people were stalking her, and that the entertainment industry had mounted a conspiracy against her. This is all information that came from a former friend of hers, who I guess she went to school with and lived in Illinois, where Jane grew up. her friend said when she would, like, talk to her on the phone, she would tell her, like, hey, go to the police if you really think this stuff's happening. And Jane would respond that the entertainment industry or whoever was stalking her was paying the police off.
To be fair.
So you can see, she definitely had some serious paranoia. And apparently there were several occasions where this paranoia left her and her family homeless.
Damn.
At, like, several times because she believed her neighbors turned against her. No elaboration on that, so I'm not sure if that means, like, she was like there's bugs in the house and my neighbors are against us, so we just have to, like, leave and live on the street. That's what I'm assuming. But she was like, it's not safe in the house, so we're literally gonna go live on the street.
Yeah.
With her children. I don't know how old they were whenever that happened, but one of her sons was 15 years old, so it's really fucked up to do that to your kids. Let's see. Apparently, there was some abuse that Jason had endured from his mother, which included beatings, taunts, threats with a knife, beating him with sticks and clubs, one of which resulted in a visit to the emergency room.
Okay, but can we just talk about the fact that here in the state that we reside, that you were told to go pick out your switch?
Thank God I was never told that.
I was never told that either, but I'm just saying, like, that was... I can't blame it all on his mother's craziness. That's just the craziness of the
But this
South.
was in California. And? I don't know.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, this was pretty recent. This was in... I mean, it wasn't secret. This was in 2003.
Oh, yeah, no, we got out of the beaten state a long time ago.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, can we talk about how, like, schools still have, like, corporal punishment? Where, like, they paddle you?
I think my elementary school did.
My high school technically did.
Oh.
They never did it, but they technically could, because they always would have us at the beginning of every school year when we got our handbook. You would have to, like, sign, like, a consent form that was, like, do you approve corporal punishment for your kid? And your parent would have to, like, check yes or no and sign it.
But your school you also went to had uniforms, so that tells you how...
I liked having a uniform.
Yeah, okay, well, that's disgusting, and I hate it.
I mean, I think uniforms are actually pretty good because of bullying and all that kind of stuff, but whatever.
Yeah, but then, like, what happens when you come to school and your uniform stinks, because you forgot to wash it, but then people are like, oh, you're homeless.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that'll happen in your own clothes, though, and if your own clothes are stinky and torn
well, at
up
least
and
with
everything.
your own clothes, I mean, you can... Okay,
With
we're not debating uniforms.
Last point, with uniforms, you could have, like, a nice teacher who's like, I'll take home your uniforms and wash them for you.
What am I going to put on until then?
But you still have to wear a dirty one, but you can give other ones. Or I've had, like, in my school, plenty of, like, poorer kids, like, teachers would go out and buy them uniforms and, like, wash them and bring them back to them on Monday.
That's kind of sweet. But how... No, okay. Okay, let's get off of uniforms.
You're right.
What are we even talking about again?
We're talking about Jane.
Oh, yeah, Jane.
Jane Bautista. Alright, the half-brother, Matthew, said that him and his brother Jason were both really scared of her and that she would threaten to kill them several times anytime they said they were going to go to the police because of her abuse.
Yeah.
I believe there was one time that Jason was beat with a hockey stick and then forced to sleep outside. And he was also tied to a chair with an extension cord while his mother threatened him with a kitchen knife.
Damn.
For real. So once this case went to, like, trial and everything, prosecutors argued that Jane's erratic behavior cramped her son Jason's lifestyle and that he wanted to get rid of her.
He cramped his lifestyle?
I know. Like, did they really use that word? My fucking mentally ill mother who has paranoia is cramping my style. How about maybe the fact that she's abusing me is, like, just terrible? Whatever.
No.
Okay.
I like it. I just thought it was cramped.
Apparently, 3 months before the incident, which is what I'll call it now because I'm about to get into it, the boys had reported their mother had been relatively okay, but then it started to get just, like, rapidly worse. And Jason could no longer tolerate it.
Jason.
So, on January 14th, 2003, Jason snaps. He ends up killing his mother, and he stated in his trial that he just accidentally choked her while defending himself from a knife during one of her rages. It was self-defense, basically, is what he was saying.
I mean, I kind of agree.
Yes, but autopsy photos showed bruises on her chin and her cheek, and the coroner testified that the area above her eyes had been crushed so badly that the bones disintegrated when he touched them.
Holy crap.
A quote from the article that I read said, "The beating was too severe to be, oh, I'm a little upset." So, I mean, it could have started out as self-defense, and then just, like, he unleashed all of his rage towards her, maybe.
I mean, honestly, though, like, how old was he when he did this?
20.
I mean, if I'd been beat for so many years by this woman...
Her tying you up to a chair with an electrical cord or extension cord or whatever.
Okay, but that's where, like, it should have... Somebody should have stepped in a long time ago, which is why I feel like so many... I feel like... And we can debate this all night if somebody wants to, but...
Call in.
Please. But when it comes to nature versus nurture, I 100% believe it's nurture.
I agree.
I mean, because like, once you've been taught and put in these positions and bad things have happened to you and they continually keep happening to you.
Also, he has his little brother who is now, like, I mean, he's about 5 years younger than him, who's going through probably similar stuff with him. He probably
just lost his shit.
Lost his shit and was like, I don't want to go through this anymore. I don't want my brother to go through this anymore.
Yeah.
The bitch has gotta go.
Bitch has gotta go.
So, but yeah, I agree. Like social services should have stepped in. I didn't read anything article if they ever were called or anything. I know the boys never called like cops or anything because they said they were too scared of her. But somebody, like the neighbors seeing them like living on the street or something, or her friend who called her and like was hearing her say this like paranoia bullshit, who knows she has 2 kids, should have probably called like something like a wellness check, social services, anything, right?
Yeah, no, that's why I agree that, you know, I don't know how fucked up this is about to get, but I just feel like
she kind of deserved it.
She kind of deserved it, dog.
I mean, I guess we don't know the full story. We just know because she's dead, so we can't really know her story.
Man,
we
can you come back? I just need to ask you
break out
questions.
the Ouija board. No, don't tell around that. He'll freak out.
Oh, God.
You're just going to bust through the door and be like, no.
The Wendigo heard.
Oh, God. But apparently, like I said, this was a little bit more than just choking her in self-defense. He beat the shit out of her. Apparently, Jason's thumbprint was found on his mother's throat, and her face was badly beaten. So that's kind of part of the thing. Like it was more than just self-defense. So this is the part that's a little fucked up.
Okay.
I mean, other than a woman getting murdered. So he decided, because kills her, he's got to hide the body, but he wants to hide her identity. What do you think he does to hide her identity? I didn't mean to quiz you, but I was just curious.
No.
What do you think?
I mean, if it were me...
Yeah, let's hear. Let's incriminate ourselves.
Definitely fingertips.
Okay.
Ear prints.
Okay.
I mean, I'm cutting off the entire face while I'm at it. Like, full... I mean, if I'm doing that, I might as well just chop the head.
Bingo.
Any tattoos, I would skin off.
We're getting real detailed, yeah?
Hell yeah.
That's a good point, though.
And toe prints, too, because, they take you little feeties when you're born.
Yes, so he cuts off her head and her hands to hide her identity. He should have went for the feet, too, probably. I don't think about it. Okay. So, Jason, according to prosecutors...
Oh, and shave them.
Well, if you're already cutting off their head, Like, what do you mean, like, pubic hair, I guess?
Well, yeah, because I was thinking, like, they can compare, not identity, but, DNA.
That's true.
So actually, we're just gonna throw somebody in acid.
I was just about to say that. Just fucking acid them.
Well,
Anyway. So yes, he cuts off her head and her hands to hide her identity. And apparently he got this idea from an episode of HBO's gritty mob drama, The Sopranos.
Yes!
I have never seen a single episode of The Sopranos.
I never have either.
I do know it ends rather weirdly where it just, spoiler alert for The Sopranos if you've never seen it. Apparently, the last episode ends where it just, cuts to a black screen in the middle of the scene.
Huh.
I was like, what a choice. But yeah, so he got it from an episode of The Sopranos. He was like, let me chop off this head and these hands, and they'll not know it's my mom. Okay. So, after the murder, and after he dismembers his mother, Jason and Matthew go to hide her body. They drove their mother's body to a construction site in Oceanside on the same night, January 14th. They carried the body wrapped in a sleeping bag over to a dumpster, but they ended up taking it back to the car because the security guard saw them and was like, what are you guys doing? You know, it looks like you're dumping a body, because that's what it looks like, I'm sure. When the security guard stopped them, he said, the security guard, when he testified in court, said he saw a foot poking out of the sleeping bag. So, but he let them go. Because I guess, you see somebody's carrying a dead body, maybe you just kind of make sure you don't get murdered, let them go. That's what he did. He was like, okay. So the two boys, they left, and the security guard immediately called the police and gave them the license plate number.
Damn.
Yes.
Just throw it in the ocean.
What they ended up throwing it was over in Orange County, and off the highway in the mountains off of Ortega Highway. So, I don't know how the mountains was a good choice. They should have dumped it in a lake or something. Or the ocean.
Yeah, put some
100%.
stones.
I know, but they probably were like, well, we just got caught one time. Maybe just they just dumped it where they could find, kind of deal. So that next morning, officers connected the license plate and the boys with a car in Orange County. They connected the car to Jason. According to Matthew's testimony, he did not take part in killing the mother, just in helping hide the body. So, don't know how true that is. I'm assuming...
He's only 15, right?
He's only 15, yeah. I kind of believe that.
Well,
maybe
depends
he just
on
came home.
how big of a 15-year-old he is.
I guess that's true.
I mean, but there's not really... He didn't stab her, he just choked her.
He choked her and apparently beat the shit out of her. So...
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like if it was a 15-year-old, I don't feel like he maybe did that.
Yeah.
I feel like it had to be the older guy, because that's a lot of aggression to choke somebody.
At most, I would say Matthew maybe at least witnessed it. Or maybe even helped cut off head and, the hands.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that.
I would agree with that.
He says he did not help at all with killing the mother, but he did help with disposing of the body. The head and hands were found later in a duffel bag in the family's Riverside home. So they left the limbs at home. I don't know why. If you're going to dump the body, why not also dump the limbs? What were they going to do with them?
Shit, I don't know.
Especially, I don't get, if you're cutting them off to hide the identity, you gotta do something with them. You can't just keep that at home. Acid? Or you could, I don't know, you could maybe I was gonna get really gory. I was like, you could kind of soak it, and then you could chop it up and just put it in the garbage disposal.
But what about the bone, the skull?
Yeah, good point. Bury it.
Where would I bury it?
In your backyard. And then put some cement over it. And build
I think a lot of people do that, but then they kind of get caught.
Well, they do, but sometimes they don't get caught till a lot later when people buy the house later, and then they are redoing something. They're like, oh, here's a skeleton.
Like you still just, you could have just kept all of it together and just thrown it in the ocean.
Yeah.
You're on the damn coast.
For real. I don't know.
Bad decisions were made.
For real. Alright, so, apparently testimonies about James, the mother's illness, made a lot of the jurors feel very sorry for Jason, because he was the main one on trial here.
Yeah.
But they said it had no impact on their decision, with the exception of one juror, who I guess originally was like, no, yeah, he's guilty, first-degree murder, came back and filed an affidavit saying that she changed her mind, and she wanted to go from first-degree murder to just manslaughter. So, a lesser of a sentence, because she was like, she said the circumstances of the mother-son relationship, when they came to light, she believed, this wasn't premeditated first-degree murder. This was just kind of
spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment.
Crime of passion.
I was about to say, I was trying to find the word. Yeah, a crime of passion. The judge, flat out rejected that. He was like, absolutely not. You got it right the first time. He said the jury got it right first. It was first-degree murder. There is no remorse from this guy.
Because she beat him for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah. So, Jason was officially convicted of first-degree murder on February 4th, so literally only about a month later.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a quick trial. Well, not quick trial, but it was quick to go to trial.
Yeah.
When Jason addressed the court during his trial, all he said was, "I'm very sorry for all my actions, Your Honor, but it wasn't first-degree murder in my opinion."
I agree.
He was like, let me make my point. And that's my point. And the judge literally asked him, he was like, is that it? And he was like, he just shrugged his shoulders.
I feel like Judge is kind of an asshole, not gonna lie.
So the judge then sentenced him to 25 years to life in prison. Yes. Younger brother Matthew, he also testified in court against his brother. He testified that his brother had mentioned killing his mother at least once a year before she died.
Oh, come on.
And that he planned to start an argument with her so he could justify it as self-defense.
Alright, Matthew.
I know, Matthew. You gonna help him hide the body.
What a sellout. Jeez.
Yeah. But he
okay,
actually...
we are family from womb to the tomb, okay?
Hell yeah. Matthew also, because he also got put on trial, but, I guess he didn't really get put on trial, he just pleaded guilty to be an accessory to murder, and he was sentenced to 749 days in prison, but then he was freed. His brother was fucking pissed at him.
Yeah, as I can imagine.
And they were in the same jail or prison or whatever.
And his brother fucked him up.
Oh, Jason literally, was, yelling at him, and he was like, you're a fucking snitch, yelling at him, and then poor baby Matthew was just like, whoa, you can't call me a snitch, we're in prison. And it was in front of other inmates, so he was like, can I get moved to another jail? And they did move him. And he's out of jail now, Jason's still in jail, and that's my murder.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of mad at Matthew.
I am too.
Like you said, we don't
snitches
know
get stitches,
the
bro.
full story. His brother could have been threatening him for all I know and been like, you better help me. I don't know.
No, I definitely feel like womb to the tomb.
Yeah, if all that, the, stories of, the abuse are true, it's just, I'm not saying it's justified, but I'm saying, they could have cut him a little bit more slack.
Yeah.
Instead of 25 years to life. And, there's other people that could have been held accountable for that shit, because somebody, like I said, should have called child services.
Yeah, that should have never... It would have never gone that far if someone would have intervened.
Exactly. So.
But, personal opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, are you ready to get into the lovely Katherine Mary Knight?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. She was born October 24th, 1955.
Oh, God.
And she is the first Australian woman to be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole.
Oh. She's a trendsetter.
Oh, she's really about to be a trendsetter. You just look in
I almost did one from Australia, too, but I changed it to this one.
Oh.
It wasn't her.
I think
dude.
Did I do Australia last time? Australia got some fucked up shit.
He came from Australia, and then he went to Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then road tripped all around the United States.
Oh. So her early life was a bit unconventional and dysfunctional. Her mother was Barbara and father was Jack Rogan, and they married and had 4 sons and 2 daughters.
It's
twins.
fucking kids.
All right. Barbara, mom, began an adulterous relationship with Ken Knight. It was a big scandal around their town. Oh, P.S. This is Australia, so. But there was a big scandal around their town, and they ended up having to move. Where she had 4 additional children with this man. Okay, wait, no, I messed up already. Oh. Sorry, her and Jack had 4 kids, and then she got with Ken, and then her and Ken had 4 kids.
8 kids in total. Oh my God.
Yes.
Hey, some moms can do it. I will not be that mom.
No, same. Ken was an alcoholic who used violence and intimidation to rape his wife up to 10 times a day.
Oh my God, that poor woman.
Yes. She would in turn tell her daughters intimate details of her sex life and how much she hated men.
I don't fucking blame her about hating men. Not telling her daughters about her sex life, but...
Yes. And Katherine was frequently sexually assaulted by several family members until 11, but none of them were apparently her father.
Allegedly.
Well, it also says that, other family members confirmed that, she was assaulted, by different family members, but never the father. So, in school, she was seen as a loner, but bullied small children. She also assaulted one boy with a weapon and injured another but the teacher was actually found to be in like self-defense. So, but when she was not gunning up for the draw, she was a model student earning awards for her good behavior. Me too.
Okay.
15, not knowing how to read or write, she got a job as
How does she not know how to read or write? She went to school.
dog. Oh, this is not Simpsons.
That's too late for that to not be able to read her. I don't know. Maybe she just refused to learn.
Yes, she, I guess so. But she...
What's she winning awards for?
Like, for good behavior.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a bad kid because I don't know how to read or write. Jeez.
My bad.
But... Sorry, she got a job as a cutter in a clothing store. Factory, sorry. 12 months later, she pursued her dream career as a abattoir? I don't know. After being... I'm about to get into that.
Okay.
After being there, she was promoted to boning, where she was given her own set of butcher knives that she then hung above her bed. That an abattoir... I'm not saying that right, probably. Sorry. But it is a person who works in the slaughterhouse.
Okay. And she hung her butcher knives.
And this is her dream job.
When I was younger...
Oh, God, here we go.
I'm not going to say my dream job was to be work in a butcher house. But I used to be very fascinated with the butcher knife. And I really wanted one. That's all I have to say. My grandma would not buy me one. My parents would not buy me one. I really wanted a butcher knife because I thought it looked really cool.
And now I'm suddenly scared of doing this with you.
I mean, I never got one. So, now you know what to get me for my birthday. Just give me a butcher knife.
I'll have your name engraved.
Oh, please. We could bedazzle it. Make it shiny.
To be fair.
That could be our merch we sell when we make it big. Bedazzled butcher knives.
Bedazzled butcher knives. Sorry. Anyways. Bedazzled butcher knives. In 1973, she began dating a man named David Collette. He was a heavy drinker, which his shit is fucked up. It's very fucked up. So, Collette worked for the railways. His best friend was killed in front of him in a shunting accident, and he was later present when a train hit a school bus, killing 6 children in 1968.
Oh my God.
Yes. He helped rescue the injured and remove the bodies. His heavy drinking had been attributed to these accidents.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a little fucked up.
Bruh.
But after he left that job, because he was drinking so heavily, he became friends. He started going to work in the slaughterhouse. And he became friends with Knight's brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, her and him started talking, and then they got together. Well, she is the younger of a twin. So him and the twin and him would get together sometimes. Mm-hmm. And then him and Catherine would get together.
Was her twin a girl or a boy?
It was a girl.
Okay, so
yeah.
2 girls, gotcha.
So, in 1974, they married. They arrived at their wedding heavily intoxicated on the back of a motorcycle.
Dude, that's kind of cool.
I know, right?
If this wasn't a story about murder, I'd say that's goals.
But, so, Knight's mother said to Ken, "You better watch this one or she'll fucking kill you. Stir her up the wrong way or do the wrong thing and you're fucked. Don't ever think of cheating on her. She'll fucking kill you."
Is this foreshadowing?
No.
Okay.
Actually, surprisingly, no. So, the wedding night, the honeymoon suite, she strangled him, or at least tried to strangle him.
Okay.
Because he fell asleep after only having intercourse 3 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was big mad and she wanted the D. The marriage proved particularly violent, and on one occasion, a heavily pregnant Knight burned all of Kelt's clothing and shoes before hitting him across the back of the head with a frying pan, simply because he arrived home late from a darts competition. after reaching the finales.
Dude, he could have gone pro.
In fear for his life, Kelt fled before collapsing in a neighbor's house and was later treated for a severely fractured skull. Police wanted to charge Knight, but she changed her behavior.
She get more good behavior rewards now.
Yeah, right? And she talked Kelt into dropping the charges. Good for her. You're right. So in May 1976, shortly after the birth of their first child, he left her for another woman. God bless your soul, Mr. David. And Knight, unable to cope, I'm sorry, I just got lost. Because I usually don't do this. So apparently, I'm sorry. He was unable to cope with the abuse, which is why he dipped.
Understandable.
The next day, Knight was seen pushing her baby in a prom, which is just a stroller.
Okay, I was like,
down the main street, violently throwing the stroller from side to side.
Oh my God.
She was admitted to St. Elmo's Hospital, where she was diagnosed with postnatal depression and spent several weeks recovering. After being released, Knight placed 2-month-old Melissa on a railway line shortly before a train was due. She then stole an axe, went into town, and threatened to kill several people. A man...
Is the baby okay?
Hold on a minute.
Okay. Sorry.
A man known in the district as Old Ted, who was foraging near the railway, found and rescued Melissa, by all accounts, only minutes before the train passed.
You know, when you said that, like, so the baby was on the tracks.
Yes.
I pictured this was like, she saw, like, an open train car, and she was like, go. Like, go into the train car.
Live the hobo life.
I was like, oh, wow, that's so much worse.
Yes. Knight was arrested and taken to St. Elmo's Hospital again.
Okay.
But apparently she recovered and signed herself out the following day.
You just let her go free?
Yes.
And she's a woman, too. Why'd they give her, like, back then? You think they'd be more like,
No. A few days later, Knight slashed the face of a woman with one of her knives and demanded she drive her to Queensland to find David. The woman escaped after they stopped at a service station, but by the time the police arrived, Knight had taken a young boy hostage and was threatening him with a knife. She was disarmed when police attacked her with brooms and was admitted to another psychiatric facility. Knight told the nurses she had intended to kill the mechanic at the service station because he had repaired David's car, which had allowed him to leave, and then both kill her husband and his mother when she arrived in Queensland. When police informed David of the incident, he left his girlfriend and moved with his mother to support Knight. He went back to this fucking woman after she tried to kill him with a frying pan.
oh my God.
So, Knight was released on August 9th, 1976 into the care of her mother-in-law and David. They moved to Brisbane, where she obtained a job, you'll never guess this, at a meat-working factory.
I was going to say, is another butcher shop?
Yes.
Oh, good Lord.
March 6, 1983, they had their daughter, Natasha. In 1984, Knight left David and moved back to her parents' house, then rented a house nearby. Although she returned to work at the slaughterhouse, she injured her back the following year and went on disability pension, no longer needing to rent accommodation close to her work. The government gave her a housing commission, residence in Aberdeen. I don't look these names up before I say them, so just be prepared.
Yeah. Same here.
Anyway, so she went on she continued on her craziness. So, in 1986, I don't really know what happened between her and David, other than she just yeeted him, and I guess that was the end of it.
he was like, enough's enough.
Yeah,
I'm out here.
It doesn't really tell you, like, what happens. But then she hops around to men.
Okay.
So, in 1986, she, of course, meets another man, and they move in together. Pretty much same kind of crap. Nothing really exciting there. I'm sorry, I'm looking through my notes. I'm trying to fill in some gaps. She goes through so many men. Like, it's kind of sad. And she's just fucking crazy as hell. Anyways, So John Price. This is where the story gets good. Okay, so John Price was the father of 3 children when Knight had an affair with him. He was liked by everyone. His own marriage had ended in 1988.
Then how was it an affair?
Because she got with him.
Was he still married when she got with him, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Sorry.
No, I didn't read too much into that. Anyways, he was liked by everyone. His own marriage had ended in 1998. While his 2-year-old daughter had remained with his former wife, the 2 other children lived with him. Price was well aware of Knight's violent reputation as she moved into his house in 1995. His children liked her. He was making a lot of money working in the local coal mines. And apart from violent arguments at first, life was a bunch of roses.
Lovely.
In 1998, Knight and Price fought over his refusal to marry her. In retaliation, she videotaped items he had allegedly stolen from work and sent the tape to his boss. Although the items were out-of-date medical kits that he had scavenged from the company, Price was fired from the job he had held for 17 years as his boss had no choice. That same day, he kicked her out and she returned to her own home while news of what she had done spread throughout the town. A few months later, Price restarted the relationship, although now refused to allow her to move in with him. The fighting became more frequent, and most of his friends would no longer have anything to do with him.
Damn.
And dun dun dun!
Someone's about to die.
In February 2000, a series of assaults on Price culminated with Knight stabbing him in the chest. Finally fed up, he kicked her out of the house. On February 29th, he stopped at the courthouse on his way to work and took out a restraining order in an attempt to keep her away from both himself and his children. Idea.
Someone stabs you in the chest, that's probably a good idea.
That night, Price told his co-workers that if he did not come into work the next day, it would be because Knight had murdered him.
Is this foreshadowing?
Maybe. Despite their plea that Price should not return home, he stated that he was afraid of Knight. He was afraid if he did not, Knight would kill his children.
He could take the kids with him.
I don't know. Price arrived home to find that Knight, although not there herself, had sent the children away for a sleepover at a friend's house. He then spent the evening with his neighbors before returning home and going to bed at 11 p.m. Earlier that day, Knight had bought new black lingerie and had videotaped all her children while making comments which since had been interpreted as crude will. She later arrived at Price's house while he was sleeping and sat watching television for a few minutes before having a shower. She then woke Price and they had sex. Sorry.
He was literally about to take a restraining order out on her, and he was like,
Not all he did.
He did.
Yeah.
And then he was like, if I don't come back tomorrow, I'm dead. She killed me. And he's like, but you know what?
Sometimes.
Let me get it in real quick.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Oh my God.
Okay? And then he fell asleep, excuse me. At 6 a.m. the next day, the neighbor became concerned that Price's car was still in the driveway. And when he did not arrive at work, his employer sent a worker to see what was wrong. Both the neighbor and the worker tried knocking on Price's bedroom window to wake him, but they alerted the police after noticing blood on the front door. Police arrived at 8 a.m. breaking down the door. Police found Price's body with Knight comatose from taking a large number of pills. She had stabbed Price with a butcher's knife while he was sleeping. According to the blood evidence, he awoke and tried to turn the light on before attempting to escape, while Knight chased him through the house. He managed to open the front door and get outside, but either he stumbled back inside or was dragged into the hallway, where he finally died after bleeding out. Later, Knight went and withdrew $1,000 from Price's ATM. Price's autopsy revealed that he had been stabbed 37 times in both the front of his body and many other wounds.
That is literally overkill. So unnecessary.
It's about to get fucked up. Several hours after Price had died, Knight skinned him and hung the skin from a meat hook on the door to the lounge. She then decapitated Price and cooked parts of his body, serving up the meat and baked potatoes.
Not to the kids. Not to the kids.
In 2 settings at the dinner table, along with notes beside each plate, each having the names of one of Price's children on it. She was preparing to serve his body parts to his children.
Oh, Chloe.
What?
This is so fucked up.
Yeah, and actually when the police got there,
Did they take a little bite of it?
No, they didn't take a little bite of it.
They were like, it smells good.
No. But Price's head was at the center with vegetables around it. Like in the pot, yeah, with vegetables around it.
Did it have like an apple in his mouth?
It didn't say, but I will definitely be looking that up. So she had been cooking him since early that morning.
Yeah.
And Knight arranged the body with the left arm draped over a soda can and legs crossed. This was claimed in the court to be an act of defilement, demonstrating Knight's contempt for Price. Yeah.
What in the hell?
Knight had left a handwritten note on top of a photograph of Price, bloodstained and covered with a small piece of flesh. It read, mind you, she can't write. Time got you back, Jonathan, for wrapping my daughter, you to Beck for Ross, for Little John. Now play with Little John's dick, John Price.
Do we have a translation?
No, we don't. That's just what we get.
Okay.
I don't know what the note meant, but that's had a little piece of flesh on it with a little blood stain.
Good Lord.
So she was, of course, found guilty of manslaughter. She pled guilty to manslaughter, but of course that was rejected because she
literally defiled the body and tried to serve it to his kids.
Yeah, she had taken some time. In June 2006, not June 2006, but she was given life in prison without parole.
Understandable. Good call on the judge.
Yeah, right?
Good call.
One judge who didn't do it right. In 2006, though, Knight appealed the sentence, claiming that the penalty of life in prison without possibility of parole was too severe for the killing.
I don't think so, girl.
And, of course,
I'm all about being a girl boss, but
yeah,
that's a little bit too much.
And that was, of course, rejected. So, yeah.
She's still in prison, or did she die?
Wait, hold on. I think I actually looked that up. I don't... Well, shit, she was only born in the 50s. Hold on.
Oh, I would not be surprised if she, had a heart attack or something in prison.
Let's see if she's still in jail. Yeah, she's still in jail.
Dude. I expected, because she said she was born in the 50s. I don't know, I just assumed this would not be as current.
Yeah.
2006 is when she got put in jail, right? And that was the first case of a woman getting sentenced to life in prison in Australia?
Yeah.
Hey. Either not a lot of women were doing crimes, or it just wasn't that fucked up, I guess. Hiccups.
I mean, I don't know how much more fucked up you could get other than skinning somebody's body and then cooking them for their children.
Yeah, I guess nobody else measured up to that standard.
I told you mine was fucked up.
That's really fucked up. I was so worried the kids were going to eat part of their dad.
No, thankfully the police intervened.
I was really worried that when she said she sent the kids away, that she really didn't, and we were going to find the kids dead somewhere.
No.
So,
I'm glad it was just dad and not the children.
He didn't deserve all that. He seemed like a pretty okay guy.
Yeah, I mean,
he knew he was gonna die. He literally knew it.
He foreshadowed his own death.
He did, and he was like, you know what? It's all good.
You know what? Again, gotta risk for the biscuit sometimes, okay?
I don't think it was worth it, buddy.
I don't think so either. But if I go out, which I mean, that's not the first case I've ever heard of that people feed.
I mean, yeah, but still.
But
it freaks me out every time I hear about, cannibalism, I guess. Or cannibalism to that degree.
No.
Cannibalism where it's like somebody just like takes a bite out of somebody, like raw, versus somebody like cooking it. I don't know.
Okay, I'm more okay with if you're a cannibal and you kill somebody and eat them. I'm not okay with you are a cannibal, kill somebody, and then feed them to other people. I'm not okay with that. Did you hear about that one that he was a cannibal and he literally was on like the search party to find this girl, and he made stew and was serving the girl up in a stew? Yes.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I just remember hearing about it. It was that fucked up.
Gross.
It was that fucked up. I tell.
Like, imagine like you just like are over at like a dinner party or something, and somebody feeds you a stew, and you later find out human meat was in that. Like, what would you do? Do you think you'd have to go to therapy?
I mean, should I already be in therapy? Probably. Would I definitely have to go to therapy after that? Probably.
I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know. Well,
it tastes like chicken.
I don't know. Is that what it tastes like? Is that what people say? That humans taste like chicken?
That's what I've heard.
I feel like we can't taste that good. I really don't think it's... I feel like we just don't.
I feel like the leaner parts of the body would definitely taste better.
Maybe, but we're no steak.
We're no steak.
Hello. Little Lyle. He's like, I'm getting impatient, Mom.
Now it's time for the therapy kitty.
Now Lyle will meow into the mic in the next 20 minutes.
Then we'll just cut it off randomly.
Yeah, then we'll know.
Mill meow.
Meow. He is so cute.
So yeah, that's my fucked up murder of the week.
Yeah, that was really fucked up. I enjoyed that quite a bit. So we haven't had enough women. We haven't talked about enough women on this show.
Women murders.
The only other one was the first one you did with Alyssa. Yeah. Hello, Lyle.
God, you have so much to say to be so little.
He is so little.
Do you agree that we need more women on here?
We need more representation.
I mean, technically you are half woman, so.
That is true. But he said he's more male than woman, though,
well,
right?
yeah. Yeah, but, you know.
Sweet baby.
But now him just wants some Billy Pit. That's all he wants.
He's super cute. I was really impressed earlier. My cat, Bruce, saw him. And normally Bruce hates other cats, and he'll, like, hiss at them and, like, run away in fear. He actually, like, went up to him and, like, sniffed him, and then kind of ran away. But he never hissed at him.
And then ran away in fear.
He's definitely unsure about him, but maybe it's just because he's so small. He's like, you're not a threat. Maybe I can trust you. Let him get bigger, and then we'll see. More Bruce.
Yeah. So that's our murders of the week.
Yeah. I mean, anything else we want to talk about? We kind of finished early. It's an hour and 8 minutes. That's our shortest one yet. We keep getting shorter, like, every single week.
Maybe because nothing exciting is happening in our lives.
You're right. There really has not been anything exciting.
No.
And how can you top the first week when we found, like, a syringe in the parking lot?
To be fair.
Sorry, it wasn't a syringe. It was whatever. An IV needle thing or whatever.
IV needle thing.
I really, like, nothing exciting has really happened in my life other than passing the test. But that's, like, exciting, but it's also kind of, like, not, like, that exciting. Like, it's exciting to me, but to other people it's, like, okay.
Wow.
It's like,
okay, well, it's time to go make cookies, guys. So, love you.
Thanks for listening.
Subscribe.
And don't murder us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.